Greetings. Jesse Vaughn, Senior, Stationary Scientist. Haven't made any videos in the last couple of days. Injured my foot. Dropped a tool on it, barefooted. Punctured a nice little hole right in the top of my foot. So, safety first. Always wear your boots. You know what I mean? Even when your lab is in your own home and you feel complacent and you start fucking around even without thinking about it and you drop a tool on your foot that easy. So, safety first in the work area, even if it is in your own home. Nothing really important to say right now. Because of the fact that I can't get up and move around really kind of puts a damper on any type of scientific experiments or activities or whatnot. Basically just sitting here feeling my foot throb. Da-thum, da-thum, da-thum. And this right here is all I use for pain. I don't take no type of drugs or pills or no shit like that. It's bad for your liver. Genesis 1:26, I have given you all the seed-bearing herbs and plants of the earth to use for meat. That means for everything. Meat, biblically speaking, meat means everything. Medicine, food, clothing, even shelter. But mainly medicine. Cannabis. Cannabis was used throughout the entire Old Testament in the high priest anointing oils. Jesus used cannabis in his healing oils. When the King James scholars were translating the Bible to English for King James, they were under duress because they were basically told by the king's henchmen to get the translation done expediently, which means hurry up or we're going to kill you and your family. So these guys were they weren't inclined to care about things like plants. So when it came to cannabis, they just assigned it the first thing that came to sound. They say calamus. They translated it to calamus. But if you look at calamus, calamus is a nasty little plant that does nothing. The Book of Jubilees gives a great description to the characteristics of the cannabis plant, and it is not describing calamus, it is describing cannabis. Cannabis is cannabis. That's how it be. It's the father of lies and flies that demonized this. The father of lies and flies that made something that was given to us from the earth to help us in any way that we could get out of it was criminalized and demonized because they were afraid it would hurt their paper industry. They were afraid it would hurt their lumber industry. They were afraid it would hurt their tree industry. Well, yeah, you can harvest it 3 times a year as opposed to trees that take 80 years to mature and grow. Not to mention the paper that you can get from hemp. You can make as much paper from 1 acre's hemp as it takes 10 acres of our trees to make. 1 acre. It takes 10 acres of our trees to make as much paper as 1 acre of hemp, and you can harvest it 3 times a year as opposed to 80 years plus for one tree to mature and grow and mature. So you do the math on that. That's why they felt like it was going to hurt their cash crop. Well, they also had what we now know of as the DEA. Back then it was called something else, but the guy that headed it up, his name was Harry J. Anslinger, and he was in the pocket of the tree farms and the lumber companies and whatever. He was their butt boy, basically. And so he went on this smear campaign about how marijuana would kill your kids. Well, people were very impressionable back then, man. They believed that shit. They still believe it when the government comes out and says some crap. So when they come out and said marijuana will kill your kids, hey, they believe that shit. Marijuana went illegal almost overnight with no tests, no studies, no nothing on it. So You see how that worked out. I mean, even when it gets to where it's totally not even demonized or criminalized anymore, it's still a good 100-something years setback that we have progressively towards medicine and stuff with this, because we're just now being able to use it in studies and figure out all the great things that it can do. So, well, anyways, food for thought. Shalom.